Hello guys, welcome back to Patrón and Mujer. I'll be sharing with you a tutorial how to make this dress, and you can find this pattern on the magazine Patrones Infantiles number 70. Having said that, let's get started. We'll take pen and paper to write down the materials. Once we have the pattern tracing from the magazine, we'll cut along the same line that we'll make. These are finished patterns, which means they have 1 cm seams, hems, and cut with notches and grand lines. Let's check the pieces. These are the pieces from the front and back, and we place visible tape around of the neckline. This is the bias, we fold in half. These are the pieces from the skirt, we overlock the sides. And the lining. And the pockets. We press with the iron and we overlock the mouth of the pocket. First, we're going to start with the skirt, but we have to make a mark because we need to position the front pocket. Take the pockets and place on the marks. And after that, we're going to close the sides of the skirt. The back skirt we cut in half on the center back. And after that, we're going to face the rights, we're going to close on the sides. This is the pocket, we overlock all around of the pocket, and the mouth of the pocket we fold and we pass a stitch on the mouth of the pocket. Then we place on the mark and we pass a stitch around on the pocket. Face the rights of the skirt and sew them on the sides. We need to gather the skirt, so we're going to pass a stitch along on the waist, and parallel to the first one we pass another stitch, and then we have to pull the thread from the spool for get together. Face the rights of the front and back and sew them on the shoulders. We take the other piece and we're going to close on the shoulders and the side. This is the lining. Also, we're going to face the rights and we're going to close on the shoulders and the side. These are the curves for the back, so we're going to sew for one side and along of the piece. We face the rights and we're going to close on the shoulders and on the sides. This is the lining. We're going to face the right, and also we're going to close on the shoulders and the sides. This is the curve we sew for one side and along of the piece. Cut along of the piece and the sides. Now we're going to pass a little stitch by hand, and we're going to pass through the curve and we turn the piece. And we have to press with the iron. Repeat for each one of the curve the same process as we made for this one. We're going to take each one of the curves and place on the center back. Place the curve on the edge of the center back and pass a stitch for whole each one. Face the reds of the lining and the main fabric, and we're going to close on the center back and around of the neckline. So you have to match the shoulders and the center front. Face the racks and sew them on the center back and continue around of the neckline. Cut the excess of the fabric around of the neckline and snip the curves. Cut the corners and on the center back, the excess of the fabric of the center back. Open the seams and pull the seams to the side and pass a stitch on the lining. Now we're going to match the armhole, the sides and the shoulder, and we're going to pass a stitch around of the armhole for hold the lining with the main fabric. Pass a stitch along of the waist, and you have to match the sides. We have to join the lining with the main fabric. To continue with the skirt, on the center back we're going to fold 1 centimeter and we fold again another one, and we're going to pass a stitch along of the center back on both sides. We're going to place the bias around of the armhole. And then we're going to join the skirt with the main fabric along on the waist. So we have to match the sides and the center front. Place the bias around of the armhole and pass a stitch on the middle of the bias. Cut the excess of the fabric on the bias and cut the excess of the fabric around of the armhole. Snip the curves. Fold the bias and pass a stitch on the edge of the bias. We fold the bias again and we pass a stitch on the other edge of the bias, but in this case we're going to leave the bias facing down because for the fabric prefers to pass the stitch on for the teeth of the machine. Now we continue with the center back. We're going to fold 1 centimeter and we're going to pass a stitch along on the center back. This is the other side. We fold and we pass a stitch along on the center back. We're going to join the skirt with the top part of the dress, so we're going to sew them along on the waist. You have to match the sides and the center front, and remember to facing up together because we don't want to get the foot entangled. Then overlock the seams of the waist. Now we're going to pass a stitch by hand on the seams of the waist for finish the side. going to overlock around of the hem. We're going to press the hem with the iron, and now we're going to pass a stitch around of the hem. Fold the hem and pass a stitch all around on the hem. And we have finished our dress. We press with the iron the hem and the center back. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more tutorials. You can find this pattern on the magazine Patrones Infantiles number 17, and the links are below. We'll see you in another video very soon. Bye!